Welcome back to Turf Talk, Breeders' Cup Clocker Edition. Ed DeRosa alongside Gary Young. And Gary, you've had a couple days not only to acclimate to Eastern time, but also see more of the Breeders' Cup horses on the track. And everyone talking about the Euros. Enable catching a lot of people's eyes, but her stablemate did some actual work this morning.
Yeah, Polly Dream.
Roaring Lion, I thought.
Roaring Lion, yeah.
Yes.
Roaring Lion came out of the gate, went like an eighth of a mile, and it's going to be a different kind of race than he's ever ran in before. And Mr. Gosden is very familiar with American racing because of his time in California, and he actually had him, get after this horse for an eighth of a mile. So by no means, I don't think as anyone, Gosden included, expect this horse to be on the lead, but they don't want him to be out the back either. So I think that's probably why John took him to the gate this morning. He's a big, good-looking horse, gorgeous horse, and every year, whether it's Giants Causeway or whoever, there's a huge European question mark in the Classic,
right.
as one of their best horses comes over here to run, and he's definitely the European question mark in this year's Classic.
All right, and the Classic in general is somewhat of a question mark for me. I bombed out. I picked Gunnevera, so I'll be interested to hear what you think later in the week. But we're going to talk about Sadler in a separate video. He has the favorite and Accelerate, so definitely don't mind the try, and really more Euros than ever before in this race with Thunder Snow and Mendelssohn as well.
Yeah.
And some turf form with Yoshida and Catholic Boy.
Yeah, it's kind of a hodgepodge of everything. Rarely have we seen horses based in America with this much turf form, trying this race, and the Euros. I mean, Roaring Lion him and Enable are like the two marquee horses from Europe this year, and they both wound up here, which is very good for us.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And Enable is the big question. Didn't get a big look at her Monday. Said she was only in the chute. It's actually been on the turf the last 2 days. I've made the joke that I was surprised no one's been raptured, because looking at the fan reaction of her on the track, sometimes different than what people looking from a clocker mentality such as yourself see. Sometimes it is the same. So what have you thought?
She exudes class. Some of the Euros have actually came here and got timed workouts, and some of them have just kind of open galloped on the turf. That's what she did. You couldn't knock what she did. There's two ways of looking at it. You could say, well, she's only had 2 races this year, so she's relatively fresh and could move forward even more. And if she does, then she's probably going to win the race.
Right.
The other side is, the Arc, as we touched in a previous segment here, is the focal point of European racing, and she won that, but it wasn't an easy win. It was a gut puller. It was a gut puller, and we're going to find out Saturday how which way it went. Was it a gut puller, or was she just getting fit in the Arc?
I will say in the Arc had to give weight to the ones chasing her. Here she gets weight, so maybe that helps a little bit. Plus Lasix for whatever that's worth if people think that's a factor. But certainly the marquee name of really maybe the whole 2-day festival, having a Philly Arc 2-time Arc winner. So.
Yeah, you got a 2-time Arc winner. That's
a headline grabber for sure. All right, well, looking forward to. We haven't touched on the Philly and Mare Turf yet, so we'll get to that tomorrow. I know you have a personal interest in that one, so eager to hear what you think. And one of my bigger plays of the weekend figures to be in there as well. So join us for that.
Okay.